Niners shock everybody, including me, and pick Trey Lance at number 3. Welcome to Hide and Seek Media Sports Edition. Trey Lance picked number 3 overall. This is now the second time a North Dakota State quarterback has been picked in the top 3 in the NFL draft in the last 5 years, 6 years, right? Well, how long has Carson Wentz been in the league? Trey Lance. Now, I have to admit, this guy wasn't really on my radar. I knew he was in the running to be a top 5 quarterback, one of the top 5 quarterbacks picked in the draft, right? But he really wasn't on my radar. I was more thinking the Niners were going to look at Mac Jones like a lot of other people, and come to find out that Mac Jones was in their top 3, probably their number 2, but Trey Lance was their number 1 the whole way. Shanahan said that he fell in love with Trey Lance early on, and it was Trey Lance from the beginning, and that they had to do their due diligence on Mac Jones and Justin Fields. Okay, so I initially said Mac Jones, right? And I would have been okay with Justin Fields if they didn't go with Mac Jones. But that was before I really dug deep into Trey Lance. And what I found about when I started digging into Trey Lance, there's not a lot of film on the kid, right? But the interviews that I've watched him do and the film that I have seen, there is a lot of upside. There is a lot of I won't compare him to Patrick Mahomes. I see that kind of ceiling in that kid. He's got the intelligence for it, and I think that's more of the reason why Shanahan picked him, was because of his intelligence and his cerebral approach to football, because that's Kyle's approach to football. So that probably was what really put Trey Lance in the front running position for Kyle Shanahan to begin with. Now, after looking at this kid, and after hearing what Shanahan said about keeping Jimmy, and it's really going to be hard for Trey to beat Jimmy out of his spot.
I know that none of us are guaranteed next Sunday, let alone the fall. I get that. But I mean, how will you make a determination, presuming that we're all still here and Jimmy's there and you got this youngster? Like, how do you view what the learning curve ought to look like?
Well, I think anytime you make the trade we did and you take a rookie quarterback, I mean, that's why the questions come, because everyone knows that our commitment to this guy long term is the rookie that you made the moves for. So I understand
Right.
all the questions and stuff, but what is different is we do believe in Jimmy. He's a person we like a lot, that we were close to. Our team is. He's also a guy that has gotten to play one season in the NFL, and in that one season, like John just said, it was a great year, and he played at a very high level. He's had some bad luck with injuries, and now that we're in this situation now, I mean, it would be very hard for us, and it would be disappointing to not have Jimmy for this year. And you always got to look into the best things for your organization, and you'll never pass anything up, no matter how hard it is, if you truly believe it helps your organization. I think I could. That's what I was trying to answer last Monday, but I think
I got it. No, I get it. I mean,
yeah, but I
because
think
you
I showed a little too much of myself. But my thing with Jimmy, like, yes, the plan win. If Jimmy's healthy, Jimmy's working his butt off. He's here doing everything, and it's gonna be very hard for a rookie to come in and beat Jimmy Garoppolo out. He's a very good player, and that's why I like the situation that we are. But that's a big task to do something like that as a rookie when we're talking about someone like Jimmy. And so that's why I think it is a very good situation that we have. We know someone we can win with. We have a very good backup now in our number 2 with this rookie, who we believe will only get better and better.
I'm more confident in the 49ers this year, being able to really shake up the NFC West and give the playoffs a good run for their money this year. I'm not saying Super Bowl, all right? I'm not saying that. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But what I am saying is that this team is poised to make a run, and they're going to be dangerous. Okay? That defense is suspect right now. All right, Fred Warner and Nick Bosa, they got a lot of work on their hands getting the rest of that defense in line, and the secondary is decimated. Right, if they don't pick up really solid corners, in the second and third round of this draft, they're going to really have to shop free agency, and I don't know how that's going to go. There are not that many top tier corners out available. So the defense is where I'm really worried about the Niners right now. That offense, now with Jimmy coming back, that offensive line still really solid. You got Raheem Mostert. Kyle's always been able to find another, good running back to put in there. You still got Juszczyk, so you can still, use him a little bit. But it's the wide receiving core that I'm really impressed with in this team right now. You've got George Kittle, right? Probably in my opinion, the best tight end in the NFL right now. Nobody blocks harder on the blocking assignments or runs his routes harder. No tight end does that better than George Kittle, right? Number one tight end in the NFL, hands down. But you got Deebo Samuel, right? And last year was a kind of an off year for him. He had some injuries, but if he stays healthy, he's going to be a threat, all right? And then you got Brandon Ayuk. Now that guy, I really like Brandon Ayuk. You guys out there with George Kittle and Raheem Mostert in the backfield, man, forget about it. That team is going to be hard to stop, especially with Jimmy Garoppolo behind, under center. And now that they have Trey Lance as a backup instead of Nick Mullins and Beathard, I feel a little more confident that the team is going to, if Jimmy does go down, hey, we've got a kid who can make plays outside the pocket, can improvise, can really keep plays alive better than Beathard or Mullins can. So I really like that aspect about having a mobile quarterback who doesn't just stand like a statue in the pocket. Like Jimmy, right? Jimmy is Tom Brady. He 3-step, 5-step drop, make your read, throw the ball, right? 2-3 seconds tops. Not even that long, right? From snap to throw, it's like 2.5 seconds, right? So 3 seconds at the most, right? Before Jimmy's got that ball out. So Trey's not that kind of quarterback. He's, he can do those things, but he also has the frame to be able to, get outside the pocket, break a tackle, break a sack, keep the play alive, and, extend the play if he has to, or, get outside a tackle and, scramble for 5 to 10 yards. So that's going to be a bonus. But I think the smart thing to do, and this is what Kyle and John are looking at, because this is a pivotal year for them. If they do not win this season, as much as I love what they're doing with the team, you can't keep calling it bad luck and injury luck, okay? So, bad luck with injuries. At some point, you have to look at your staff and say, what are you guys not doing? What is the team not doing correctly? What is the staff not doing correctly to keep these guys healthy and on the field? What are your guys not doing that's keeping themselves healthy? All of those things matter, and so you have to pay attention to those things at some point. So this is a very critical year for John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, the duo. And so I really hope they do put together a winning season, because I really feel optimistic about this team, right? So, having said that, there was a rumor going around that the Niners called the Green Bay Packers about Aaron Rodgers. And some people were getting all uppity and like, oh, that's, I can't believe they did that. How disrespectful to Trey Lance for, trying to shop him on the night you draft.
You're talking about, the MVP of our league last year. And I don't know about you guys, but to me, when the MVP of the league might be available, and I didn't know that, I'm just reading the tea leaves just like everybody else and saying, hold on, is something going on here? Yeah, we inquired, and it was a quick into the conversation. It wasn't happening, and
I appreciate the candor. I appreciate it very much. I just don't know why you admit that, because it wasn't just curiosity. It wasn't just due diligence. It was, you know what? There may be something here, guys. Hang on. Before we use this third overall pick on someone who's unproven, maybe there's a way that we can get Aaron Rodgers. Let's see if there's a way that we can get the Packers' attention. Let's see if we can do this. That would have been seismic, because that's another example of how Tom Brady has broken the brains of teams in the NFL. You've got an organization that would be willing to trade the opportunity to get a guy who could be their quarterback for 15 years for a guy who's going to come in for 3 or 4 years. It's Russell Wilson, it's Aaron Rodgers, and it's the mindset. We're going to go all in now. Forget about building for the future. We'll go all in right now with a guy that we think is going to deliver multiple championships before he retires.
Yeah.
And they would have done it. This wasn't, let's just see so we know what we're getting and what we're actually doing with our pick tonight. Hell no, if they'd have said yes, they'd have done it, Chris.
100%.
And you'd have said they should have.
100%. 100%. Because, maybe a 15-year career in a franchise quarterback. Maybe. It's an iffy, very, very risky reward pick in Trey Lance. I don't think a lot of people would really disagree with that statement. It's a risk reward. It's a boom or bust prospect. So you have that we could have Aaron Rodgers for 3 or 4 years at playing at top 5 quarterback level. I think you take that. Mike, it was already out there by the time the press conference had happened about the 49ers, the Packers thing. I think the right thing.
We're not talking about anybody who's under contract with another team. That's all he had to say. I'm not talking about anybody who's under contract with another team. And then it's
okay, but then
Don't
it's just
but
then there's just all there is speculation, and it continues to talk and talk and talk. To me, he ends it.
And it's like, okay, look, man, it's Aaron freaking Rodgers. You don't pass up on the opportunity to get Aaron Rodgers for 4 to 5 more years, especially with an offense that can win. Okay? You have an offense like the 49ers have, and you pluck Aaron Rodgers into that thing. Okay, forget about Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. You put Aaron Rodgers in an offense like with Kyle Shanahan and good skill players, decent protection. Dude, he would decimate the entire NFC West for sure, and probably the entire NFC. Aaron Rodgers would win a second MVP if he were on the 49ers, right? But I'm glad the trade didn't happen because I would much rather have Jimmy lead the team this year and have Trey sit behind Jimmy and learn, watch the ins and outs, learn how practices are done, learn how, the offense is run, learn all of these things without having all the pressure to win, right? Leave all that pressure to Jimmy, right? And let Trey just, learn with no pressure, right? That's what Kansas City did with Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith. And I think it'll be a good idea for the 49ers to do that here in this situation too. In the end, I'm okay with the pick. I'm happy with the pick. I was more leaning towards Mac Jones, but that was because my idiot self didn't actually do my due diligence and look into all the quarterbacks. Like, I didn't look into Trevor Lawrence because I'm not sold on Trevor Lawrence. I don't think he's all the quarterback everyone thinks he is. Now, I may be wrong. Urban Meyer saw something in him, so, like I said, I may be wrong. But that's just my gut feeling. And my gut feeling said, Trey Lance is a good quarterback, but, I think it's going to come, for the 49ers, I think it's going to come down to Mac Jones or Justin Fields. Now, I was wrong. Now, I'll admit I was wrong. But I hope that Kyle and John weren't wrong. That's my greatest hope, is that Kyle and John weren't wrong. Now, after watching some interviews and watching some highlight tapes and stuff, I like the kid. I'm willing to give him a shot, and I hope he succeeds. And I hope the ceiling that I see and that John and Kyle see is truly there. I hope his ceiling is higher than what we see. I truly do. But in the end, I think the Niners made a good choice at number 3. It is what it is. We are where we are, and I hope Trey Lance succeeds. So if you've made it to the end of the video, I appreciate you guys watching all the way in. Make sure, if you haven't already, to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about the video, your thoughts on the comment or on the content, and I will catch y'all later. Peace.